Because another angle that I think, this is what's sad, we're all giving Caps his flowers now because G2's really good. I'll tell you who's not getting his flowers this year, and it makes me really sad, and it's Perkz. Right, look, if you want to diss Perkz, here's the angle you can diss Perkz on. If he really was behind picking the players in this super team, well then yeah, ultimately the outcome will be his fault. He put together this fucking roster. But if you want to look individually as a mid laner, I still think in spring he was mad underrated. He had a whole bunch of really good games that were really consistent in the regular split. And this regular split, dude, he still looks really good. He's a top mid laner. In terms of raw, just mid lane, play the lane, play like, yes, obviously they're not winning fucking team fights. It's vitality, isn't it? What do you want? It's not a miracle work. He's just a mid laner. So I actually think, no joke, even though fans are going to meme like, lol, fucking Perkz having another shit year, like, this is actually a good individual year, mate. I think he looks good.
I mean, I don't think he's playing bad at all. I think that people just don't like Perkz. Like, they just don't like his attitude.
I think dude, I think for real, going to NA and trash talking, that actually changed how people like vibe with him on. Like, before that, he was mega loved on Reddit. Before that, like that seems to have just turned tons. Like, so basically, people prey on his downfall now. That's the vibe I get.
Yeah, I mean, people just want to see the cocky guy lose, I think. They're like, he thinks he's so good. They're like, look at this now. Look, here's the thing that doesn't make sense. If you're going to say Alfari is, like, super shit this year, then it can't be that Perkz is also super shit based off their, like, results. You know? Like, if the bot lane's bad and the top lane's bad, then that means that Perkz is fucking good for getting them to this spot.
And they just fired their junglers. Yes, who's carrying these games, guys? How are they winning these games?
Look, he's been the least of my concerns with the roster. I thought that they had no jungle support synergy at all in spring. Like, it just never happened. Like, it never worked out for some reason. They're never able to sync bases and do the same thing at the same time. And then this split, I feel like they just downgraded their jungler. I feel like Haru is just, I don't know what he's doing, man. Like, I'm watching some of these games and he looks like one of those guys that is just jungling.
Oh, some of the
try to not look bad. Well, I mean, you can't be doing nothing as a jungler. How are you down in objectives, farm, kills, ganks, everything? It's not like you're playing against these like super snowbally like carry champions like Kiana or some shit, and he's getting like 4 kills early game, and it's like, oh my god, well now he's just like able to do everything better than me. Like, he's playing into like Wukong and like normal jungler, or like he's playing the Wukong side into like a Viego. Like, these are not matchups that snowball ridiculously out of control with like very minimal resources. So when I'm watching his play, it looks like he is just trying to like not look bad most of the time. And it actually like, yeah, it's actually really tough to watch. I saw a lot of people were commenting on it. I saw Vagar V2 had a tweet about it too, where it's just like, man, like his scoreline looks good, but he is not playing well. I mean, even like the Belveth game where he got MVP, looked like he was first time in the champion. Looked like he just didn't know like how to play it. That's at least what I would say. Like, I was literally watching Broxa play solo queue, and Broxa looked like he had more of an idea of how to play Belveth than Haru did.
Just the fact that I know that's like a low-key diss, but like someone else might be like, oh, watch that. I'm a professional pro. What's wrong with that? Like, I get it.
It's not even supposed to be a low-key diss. Like, that was just facts.
Sort of, though. It has a grain of a diss at least.
Look, he's like one of the only junglers that still play solo queue on stream. Like, no one else has the fucking mental to play this role on stream. So, you know what? Like, I was watching him play it. He played a lot of it, and I was like, oh, he's actually like, you know, he knows how to play some Belveth. Right. Did not look like Haru knew what he was doing. You know, it just kind of looked like he was cleaning up kills, and the champion is just fucking OP.
Listen, Seal, you can comment on any angle you want here. What do you think about Vitality?
I mean, it was my old org, right? And I actually really like the org. So it's I think Perkz is. I mean, I just don't believe in the idea that like you have forms. I think it's just you either learn or you don't, and you have a good routine. Like, if you look after yourself as a professional player, your form is dependent on like how well you learn and how well you train yourself, right? Like in any other sport, and that's what defines form, like the process, right? So for me, I mean, Perkz still looks very, very good. I think this roster on paper should be a lot better than they actually are, and I still think that they're not really tapping into their potential. Like, I thought that Selfmade was a very good player, and I thought that he was better than Haru, to be completely honest with you. I mean, yeah, from my perspective, but at the same time, I was like, if it's a difference in how they view the game, right, philosophically, when you have this with players, it can be hard on a team like Vitality, because my vibe with Vitality is that it would be a player-run team, right? So you don't have, I mean, I think the coach is doing a lot too, but like it's not the case where the coach has the.
I don't know.
Yeah,
anything about this coach.
okay. To be completely honest, I talked to Mephisto when I was in LFL, and I learned a few things about the game off him. So I don't think he's like clueless or anything like that. I think he knows the game. It's just that when you have a player like Perkz, you have to have a very, very specific kind of personality to get him to do what you want, and you need to be very good at the game. If not, you're playing a facilitator, and I think Grabs was a facilitator in that way, and I think Mephisto is probably like a mix of both, right? But the main point is if they have a difference in opinion on how to play the game, Perkz wouldn't look as good as he should be, and I think what happened is they're just putting all the big eggs in the Perkz basket to kind of enable mid jungle, and then they thought that everything else would solve their problems. I think it's too early for me to judge like how the games would go or how this team would act, because as I said, I still think it's week 3. You have another 5-6 plus playoff weeks to work on things, and I would guess that they only probably trained like 3 or 4 weeks or 5 weeks together max, right?
Yes.
And sometimes you need a little bit longer than that to get in together. So I'm going to hold my reservations about that. I personally think that, Perkz pickup, whatever the org is, if you can afford it, it's not a bad pickup at all. It's always going to be a good pickup. This is a player where I just look at him, I watch him play, and I just know that he's adapting to the meta very well. If you look at him in the LCS, I think that was the case as well. Right, and these type of players will be around a very long time, and they'll be good for a very long time, whatever it is. And the biggest hint for that was when his team was completely inting and he just locked a Galio. He went down 100 CS and looked terrible, but it just shows his mentality that I just have to pick something that moves so that I can help unlock the map, and get vision for my team. Right, so it didn't look amazing. It was like the worst matchup possible, but he's willing to do that. So for me, this guy's still really, really good. I think he still wants to win really, really badly, and if he was in a top team, he'd probably look like a god, right? So I'm going to hold my reservations on Vitality. I'm not sure how things will play out.
Put Bowen. Put Bowen. Put my boy in and let.
I actually think why not at this point?
But I've watched both VODs. So that's the thing. It's not gonna I think he's mechanically very solid. I'm not too sure about how he thinks about the game. I think that Korean junglers look good because they're very, very intelligent about how they understand lane states, and they're actually very intelligent about showing their position. At least the top junglers, right? And a big kind of misconception is that Korean junglers are good overall. They're just way better, but that's not the case at all. Like, I think that even Korea is a very top-heavy region because the lower teams are just being exported immediately to China. They have like 16 teams or something there, right? These teams are also top-heavy, and the difference between like a top 3, top 4 jungler and the rest is huge. It's huge. Just like, for example, not showing your position as a jungler and like avoiding wards and stuff like this, like these nuanced things that you don't think are small completely dictates how the game is played.
Sure.
And yeah, so I'm not sure just bringing in a bow would fix the problem. I think that there needs to be a lot of systems and a lot of other things that need to be implemented.
How many times you said systems? You're prepping for the C9 job. I can already feel it.
There you go.
There it is. He's getting all the names out of the way.
I mean, I could have gone to NA as a head coach, right? I would. I wouldn't go there. I could have gone there for almost double my salary. So, it's not something that I would do. I want to compete in the best region possible. I want to compete in the best possible team that I think that can win.
Sure.
And that's always
he's going to LCK. He's going to LCK. He's going to brush up on that Korean, and here it is.
No, my Korean's not going to.
The thing you even say though about like not showing on the map, that's something else I've even noticed. In international competition, you will always see there'll be like one group stage game where some like godlike fucking Chinese or Korean jungler just finds like the fucking 10 pixels that are on the edge of like a ward's fucking vision and sneaks past and gets some like crazy mid lane gank off or whatever. It happens every single tournament. It seems like they always have like the little edge on you,
Yeah, Marang's the best at it in our region by far.
Yeah, Marang, that is one of Marang's strengths for sure. There's a game I distinctly remember is the Hecarim game where he got completely fucked and he like lost multiple camps and he knew exactly where the ward was and he pathed like 3 camps top into bot lane and he ended up just, like getting a kill. Yeah,
that was GG. That was GG at 3 minutes if we didn't do that. I think.
Yeah. That was the game where I was like, yeah, this is a really good game for Marang. This is something where like, he's super fucked, and if he doesn't do this, then the game is fucking doomed. So, there's definitely those aspects. But one thing I was going to say is that like you see that from like middle to bottom tier Chinese teams. Like that's just part of jungling. Like if they know where a ward is, fucking ward jump over Dragon Pit, do whatever you need to do to get it. You can see it almost every fucking game. Even like the bad junglers, like fucking, I love Ultra Prime for no reason. This team fucking sucks. I love them. They have Hacker. He is. Probably
he's been around quite a few years, yeah, sure.
He's been around for a long time, number one. Number two, this guy has
he's
no
a maniac,
hands.
Isn't he? I know.
After 15 minutes, he'll just lose you the game solo. The whole meme in China is that his nickname is Ultraman because in that show. It's like the Power Rangers, they lose their power after a certain period of time. And that's what the Chinese fans call him, because he just loses his power.
By the way, Chinese memes in esports are number one. China is number one when it comes to memes, because for memes, the fans are just so good at coming up with really funny memes. Like, I think that one about that top laner 369 is fucking incredible, where it's like a dice, and he just rolls, and he either is a 3, a 6, or a 9, depending on like how good he is in the game. So if he rolls and it's a 3, you just fuck, and he throws the whole game for you. Like, what a great fucking meme! Whoever came up with that?
They're ruthless.
More creative than we have in the West. In the West, we're just going like, lol, Jan Cosmos' spears. Like, that's not even a meme. That's just shit, guys. Like, come up with something.
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of fucked up. I mean, you remember back in season 5, they had the God V arrow where he accidentally arrowed backwards on Varus, and they had it just like going around the entire world and coming back and just hitting like people from the back. I don't know. I thought that was great. That was didn't they start the whole like they should swim back memes where it's like LGD should swim back like.
I forget though if it was China or Korea. It was definitely one or two of them that did that though. That was a different one. Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or be a pleb and don't.